Space is such an amazing and beautiful thing to explore. Many people among us would love to travel in space, and science geeks like me, of course, would have the dream of travelling space forever. Many people would have heard stories of space scientists and travellers to explore more about the ever-expanding multiverse and would always wonder about the different amusements in space. But before travelling space, have you ever wondered how you're going to look after your safety? What measures might be taken? As we already know that space is as dangerous as it is amazing and surprising. So to introduce today's video, we are going to cover up the safety measures of space travelling and let you also know how it could kill the person. If we ever get too far away from our spaceship during spacewalk, like we saw in the Gravity movie, your spacesuit will keep you alive for probably around 8 to 9 hours, because after that your suit will be exhausted from the supply of oxygen, and within the next 15 minutes you will die in space itself. Yeah, isn't that awful? Of course it is. But this is a fact, because one incident like this actually happened in 1971 with 3 Soviet cosmonauts who were precisely 167 kilometers away from Earth's surface. More specifically, their spacesuit support system's valve got ruptured during spacewalk, and their whole body surface got exposed to the vacuum of space. When their capsule landed, their recovery team was horrified to see their dead bodies, as all they saw were big blue patches on their face and blood flowing through their nose and ears. The main reason, however, for death in space is depressurization. If we take this from a biological aspect, if our body isn't in contact with atmospheric pressure, then due to absence of any pressure on the body, the water present in our tissues will come out in the form of vapours, and simultaneously our body will swell up, a bit like a balloon. Basically, skin provides enough resistance that our body doesn't burst up. Air bubbles might get filled into your nerves, due to which blood flow will stop, and all of the content inside your body then becomes outside your body. Something like this also happened with the dogs who were put on an experiment in a vacuum to study their effect. There is one condition called ebullition, in which the boiling point of your body fluids is far greater than your normal body temperature, in which your saliva would boil on your tongue itself. The third reason is space sunburn. As we are all aware, Earth's surface is surrounded by the ozone layer, which protects us from harmful ultraviolet radiation, which is lethal to humans. But this ozone layer isn't present in space, which can cause space sunburn during space travel. But not only space burn itself, it can also cause a various array of other diseases like skin cancer, weakening of the immune system. Astronauts' spacesuits are designed in such a way that it can provide maximum resistance from maximum variation going ahead. The fourth reason is actually colliding with junk or crap floating in space. If you've seen the movie Gravity, you would know how astronomers lost their lives by colliding with junk. Here's the situation. March 2012. 6 astronomers of the ISS were warned about the possibility of clashing with the broken junk from a Russian telecommunications satellite which was approaching towards their capsule, due to which they had to immediately escape from their coordinates. Hopefully we are lucky that the ISS is safe from colliding with any junk. According to the research of NASA, we have now come to the conclusion that Earth's orbit is surrounded by approximately 500,000 pieces of debris, which are revolving around Earth at the speed of around 28,000 kilometers per hour. Now, let's just imagine junk travelling at such a great speed collides with one of our spaceships. Not an ideal situation, I'll tell you that. Now, the fifth reason of death travelling in space is inhalation of space dust. Now, the more absence of air in space, the more radiation present, which is lethal to us. And it's not a big deal if we actually find space dust. But during mission Apollo 17, all of the astronauts landed on the moon, caught lunar hay fever, which is basically inhalation of dust on the moon, causes this fever. And if you ever get a chance to go to Mars and mistakenly inhale the dust there, you shall get black lung disease, because this disease is caused by inhalation of silica carrying particles, which are static in nature, thus easily stick on the surface. So if you inhale them, they stick on the surface of your lungs and will react with the water present in the tissue and produce a hazardous chemical which causes the black lung disease. The 7th deadly reason is microgravity found in space. According to some Russian astronomers who spent a month in space, they found out that their bone mass had nearly reduced by 20%. In the human body, there is a specialised cell which breaks down the cell and releases calcium in the blood, and from there starts the process of making new bone cells. And this tendency of the body tending to decrease with increasing age is a reason why many old people have bone joint problems. If you spend many months in space, due to microgravity, the bones in your body would start weakening, and you would not be able to support yourself. Microgravity also causes some minor changes in your spinal discs, which would give your body an incredible amount of pain. And here we come to the 8th deadly reason, and that's due to cell damage. There are various other radiations in space that aren't ultraviolet, which are deadly and dangerous and will affect us. Space doesn't have magnetic and atmospheric fields like on Earth, so to duplicate this effect, spaceships were made in such a way that they are 3 feet to 1 meter thick. Isn't that very amazing? According to scientists, until they don't find any way to save the astronauts from radiation, they are not sent into interplanetary space. And if something like this happens, astronauts die of cosmic radiation, and even by luck, if they're still alive, there is a full possibility of potential cancer in them. Last but not least, it's really very difficult to live in space, as you have to be in a space environment. We haven't found any solution, but they have found a little way by making adjustable focus glasses, which would have astronauts. If we travel through space, we get mentally disturbed. This is because it's very difficult for humans to adjust with the environment of space during one research. We found that astronauts in space are mentally very much disturbed because they couldn't adjust themselves in microgravity, due to which they are unable to sleep properly, and this affects our brain adversely. Let me bring to your notice that if you're planning on travelling in space for a long mission, then you need to keep this research and these safety measures as a protocol to travel in space without any disturbance, because space isn't as beautiful as it seems, because half of the part of space is even more dangerous and dark. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, subscribe and ring that bell for future videos. Any comments, suggestions or feedback would be greatly appreciated. Pop them in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that share button and share this to all your friends. That was 10 Ways to Die in Space, and I'll see you